Bob Nagy here again with another equipment review. This time I'm going to be talking about an accessory for SDR radios. Now, a lot of you saw my review of the ELAD FDM Duo SDR I picked up at Dayton last year. What a really nice piece of equipment from Italy. A great SDR. It's a standalone box with its own tuning knob. You can run it standalone or you can run it on the PC. But with a lot of the SDRs that we have today, you can just run them on the PC, and the big complaint is, I don't have that nice beefy tuning knob I want, a volume control, maybe other, gain controls and things like that. I need some push buttons to push here to get those commonly used things, hit them right away. So the folks at ELAD now produce the T-Mate 2, and that is a great little box that has the beefy, heavy tuning dial, volume control, multifunction knob, push buttons, and it will mate up not only with the ELAD products, but with all of the common SDR programs used on a lot of the SDR radios. That's SDR Console, that's HD SDR, that's SDR Uno, all the RSP Play products operate on that. So that covers a lot of SDR radios. All right, let's take a look at this great little apparatus. Let's take a look at the functions when using the T-Mate with the ELAD software. Of course, tuning around, you use the big tuning dial. I do have the exposure set down here so that we can see the LCD screen better, because if I bring it up to normal exposure, this will blow out and you won't be able to read it. So for tuning, we use the main tuning dial, of course, nice big beefy metal tuning dial. And what I do suggest is that when we push it in, we unlock the center frequency, and it allows us to move up and down the band rather rapidly and cleanly while the display is actually showing us everything live. Here, these two buttons, F5 and F6, control the step, and I can push it right up to 50 hertz step. As we tune around, it also has multiply tuning, so that if you go a little bit faster, all of a sudden it picks up the speed, and that is completely definable, as I'm going to show you in the set menu. It's very nice. So I pick it up, and I can go a little bit faster there, get really close, and I can take it slow, come right in on a signal. There was a lightning hit last week, and there's a transformer that is arcing over about a block away, and it is terribly kicking noise all over the bands, all the way up to 2 meters for me. And I want to show you how fantastic this noise blanker is. I'm going to turn the noise blanker off. Look at that. I mean, it is awful. Kick the noise blanker on. Wow. And a lot of noise blankers, you can get the noise out, but then the voice becomes sort of distorted. Take a listen to this one here. I'll open the bandwidth a little bit. Of course, it's in Spanish. Turn the noise blanker off. Back on. Wow. And it's infinitely adjustable. You can crank it up to the point where you do get distortion. But if you bring it down to where it's actually working perfectly, it's the best noise blanker I've ever used. And now we're down in the CW and FT8 PSK area of the band. I've got the display zoomed in a little bit, and I've got it in CW mode. Now, these two buttons here, F3 and F4, go up and down through the modes. That's very handy for quickly changing modes. And I have the bandwidth set on quite wide. That's the E2 button right here, or knob. Look at this, widen it right out. You can see on the display it narrows right up. So let's tune over right on the CW signal. Let's kick it over to a narrower bandwidth. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. I'm going to widen it back out and come on over to the digital area here. Now remember, if we press this button, press the big tuning dial in, then we've unlocked the center frequency, and it's very nice to tune around because the display stays very constant. We can get over to what we want here. That speed up tuning works really well. I wanted to talk about the E2 and E1 controls over here. These are rotary encoders, and all these three buttons push in. So this one here is E2, and basically it's your continuous bandwidth control on the high end. If you push it in, it will bring up the low end. Of course, in CW, it's just narrowing it up. All right, here we are on a net frequency over here. I think it's the Bible net. We can adjust that bandwidth there on the high end.
We're working down there with
when you go to the low mode, it acts as an IF shift, sliding the whole thing up. So you could, it does bring up the bottom. At that point, you go to high, narrow it there, and that's how it's implemented. On the E1 control, it is your normal volume control. But as you push it, it increments to being the squelch control, the noise reduction control with the mount you can put in, the noise blanker with adjustable amount, the automatic notch, and then back to volume. So it has multiple functions that are programmed into the box. Now, as I was saying, the F3 and F4 are increment and decrement modes. The F2 is the AGC on, off, and time constant, so you can rotate through all those three, slow, medium, and fast, and then off. F1 doesn't seem like it does anything initially, but what it does is when you have multiple receivers set up, it alternates between them. We have a single receiver set up right now. Now let's look at setting up the TeamMate. Hit the Set menu in SW2, then select the TeamMate tab, and you'll see Enable TeamMate Control. It should automatically be turned on when you plug the unit in and fire the software up. Under that, you can control the LCD screen color any color you want, plus contrast. Have fun there. And the next thing is the refresh time up there, and that's how often that TeamMate is talking to the software. I set mine all the way down at the bottom for the fastest response. You should too. Increment steps is the amount that the steps, frequency steps, are multiplied as you spin that knob faster, and it'll step up to 2 faster speeds, 6 and 15 times. The step count transition is, well, how fast do I have to be turning the knob for it to select the multiplier rate and speed up? I'd start with my values and then go ahead and experiment from there. I did a lot of experimentation. These are good values. The step count evaluation time is how often in milliseconds does it look to see if you're spinning the knob faster. Here, it's the push-in detent on the main tuning knob. I'd leave it to toggle the center frequency on and off because I like it with center frequency off. So start here and then experiment. The TeamMate works with the very popular HD SDR, which controls and talks to many different SDRs right now. And here's SDR Uno, which supports all of the RSP Radio Play SDRs for the United Kingdom. What a great program. And it also works with the very popular SDR console program, version 3.07, which is shown here. So in conclusion, this looks like a really nice addition to the station. Looking at the build quality, the price point, that it covers a lot of different SDR radios. You might have multiple SDRs you're going to run this thing on and multiple different programs. It really ends up being a good value. And it just feels great. The tuning knob feels really wonderful in the hand, and it really covers all the general functions you need. So 2 thumbs up from AB5N on this one. Until next time, take care.